As it goes, everything in the world can be rated subjectively at least. And so with that also comes the rating of the best and the worst in the list. And so Elite Dangerous is not exempt from this. So before you go and form a lynch mob for this poor Latvian, keep that in mind. Now then, here I have compiled a list of top 10 worst things in Elite. And I probably shouldn't even need to say this, but this is my personal list. Number 10. When I just started playing, flying around with Winder oddly didn't give me much of a sense for the scale of the world or the universe. Sure, it's just one ship, but after I transferred my ass to a few other ships, I expected them to get bigger by scale. But the feeling was closer to switching from a meth house to your grandparents' house. There are still annoying people living around, they all have terrible health, and something reeks of drugs and piss. Sure, it's a slight improvement, but come on. And you know, it kinda makes me sad that I don't get to experience my ship's scale for real. Sure, we have ship-launched fighters and SRVs that we can use to take a look at our ship from a common perspective. But even then, you are still sitting in some big vehicle. The point I'm getting at is first-person perspective. Yes, we need that. I seriously love most ships and I would love to explore them from inside and out. Groping and grabbing my conda in every orifice. Oh my. I guess this is partly due to Star Citizen having FPS aspect to a degree, but come on, who wouldn't love to actually walk aboard their ship and see all the little different details? So yeah, number 10 in this list is basically a lack of the feel for the scale. Number 9. Okay, so I started playing Elite some months after the release, and connectivity was decent, everything worked well and missions loaded fast, but then I stopped, and only recently I resumed playing Elite, and I was just astounded. I log in, launch my ship, about to jump into Super Cruise, disconnected. Okay, repeat. Now I'm in Super Cruise, about to jump out of it, disconnected. What the fuck? Okay, fine. I'll just jump to a different system, maybe that'll help. Disconnected. Ah, what's wrong with you, Elite? So yeah, the number 9 here is the connectivity issues with the game. And best of all, if you fly in wing, then your chances of getting disconnected increases. Oh yes! Here I have to say that was in 2.1 version when I restarted playing. Now that 2.2 has come out, stability has been greatly improved and you don't get those disconnect messages that often. Yet it's nowhere near as good as on release. Oddly. Or is my memory making fool out of me? Well, take it as you will. Number 8. Right then, more to the meta topic. Or whatever those overanalyzing people say to make them sound smarter. While playing Elite, I noticed a few things, or rather trends, when it came to developers and the dreaded topic of balance. To me, it seems that devs for this game have confused and mislabeled the nerf hammer as a balance hammer. So every time something needs balancing, we get a quick dose of that jaw-breaking nerf hammer. If this continues, I bet that most weapons, tools and things in Elite won't have teeth left to punch, or in this case, smash out. I mean, look at the poor railgun, that toothless bum just has nowhere else to go. Yet somehow I think that devs want to harvest his organs next, just so there's nothing left at all. So yeah, over-nerfing trend is something I highly dislike in this game. Number 7. Let's talk about the pit of cocks. Cockpit. I noticed that every time something bad happens to you, your ship thinks that it's a great idea to start freaking out and panic. Like Brits after Brexit. Yeah, I know it's a dated reference, but I don't care. Anyhow, you get 0.1% over the heat limit? It's time to make the whole cockpit go in flames. Oh boy! Seriously, 0.1% and all of a sudden your air vents start shooting fire. Much like myself after a good spicy meal. Except I use a different exhaust. But anyways, overreact much? And then there are of course sparks. I don't fly with shields and you know, I just barely scraped my ship. So you know what time it is, ship. Bring out a heavy sparkler and have the time of your life. Seriously, I think that engineers in Elite have built every ship to be a melodramatic diva. Honestly, I dread to look at those regulations that dictate my toilet's design now. It might suddenly explode as I try to take my morning shit. Now I understand that player must get some input when the ship is being damaged, but isn't this a bit much? Number 6. Right then, a game that seems to be quite realistic when it comes to star maps and has vehicles as the main mode of transport. The only mode of transport. You would think that collision and physics would be quite good. Yeah, no. Have you ever been stuck in those mail slot guards? You know, those metal things outside? Or rammed any other parts of the station other than the platform? If you have, then you would know that collision in this game can be equated to unrealistic at best. Honestly, just look at this stuff. It makes me wonder, how can I even land safely if this is going on? Number 5. Again, back to 2.1 version when I resumed playing Elite. Back then, I thought the combat was the most profitable way of earning credits. Dedicated exploring seemed like a thing for people with hopes and dreams as bland as Latvian politics, that also can't earn a decent wage. And trading felt like a complete waste of time, as you would join legions of people who would enjoy accounting too, yet earning pennies, not millions. But after learning about Sotis runs, I managed to get my total assets from about 120 million to a billion in 3 weeks. And that was me being slow. So yeah, I guess hauling someone's dirty diapers and few corpses to disposal was a very profitable thing. But then came 2.2. Now that fun ended. But as for bottom line, my gripe here is that the trading in general sucks. You go to a station, grab some highly valuable thing, probably slaves, and then sell them, earning about 3 to 6,000 per ton. And that's if you do it right. Also, if you don't have a ship with at least 200,000 cargo space, in this case T7 or better, you won't be making any big money. While I do enjoy some statistics in route planning on occasion, trading just doesn't reward me enough to be worth my time. And I better go out there and burn someone to death. Number 4. When it comes to playing with your friends, you'd like it to be simple and easy. Well, in Elite, this doesn't often go the way you want due to instancing. i.e. when game creates multiple rooms for players so they don't overcrowd the place and other things. See, there was this one time, multiple times, when me and my friend wanted to go to a planet and explore its surface. As we approached the planet, mix of different problems occurred, starting with me not being able to see him in the area, not seeing his wakes, and so on and so forth. And then there was one weird time when I could see him on the galaxy map, but he couldn't see me. And yes, we were playing in open. And so I think that most of you would agree that instancing in Elite isn't what you would call reliable. Number 3. I did say I was combat-oriented pilot, didn't I? So the third spot takes bots. Yes, those flying assholes. Literally and figuratively. As anyone invested in bounty hunting will tell you, enemy bots with railguns are pure cancer due to several reasons. Bots have perfect aimbot. That is, they basically don't miss. And when it comes to weapons, rails benefit from this the most. Then of course there's this fact that heat doesn't affect AI ships. So if you invested your time in getting your weapons with heat damage, guess what? Bots won't be affected and you have wasted your time. Unless you're one of those lifeless cunts who go and kill players that are doing community goals. But yeah, in general AI ships or AI itself is OP and poorly made. While they are certainly challenging, it's done by making them immune to certain things and overpowering some other aspects, like giving them infinite ammo too. Number 2. This spot's taken by something that only people with horizons have to worry about, but even at that, it's extremely annoying matter. Getting engineered materials and commodities. Even when you know how to get things and how to get them for your upgrade you want, it takes so much time and you have to fiddle fuck around so much that it sometimes just doesn't feel worth it at all. Then there's also the aspect of RNGs. Not every material or data piece you need will come in predictable times or places. For example, getting some rare type of scan is a pain to get, as RNGs might decide, well, screw you, I'm not gonna give you any. So you sit there with your thumb up your ass, contemplating your meaningless existence. Oh, and here I have a little song for you. Here I sit, contemplating, should I shit? Or just masturbate? Well, okay, it's not about the topic, but hey, when you have time and there's nothing else to do, you know. Oh, and while I haven't forgotten, since you can't store any commodities, you constantly have to hold them around, which increases the risk of getting killed, or the very least interdicted. And it really doesn't help that engineer stuff is complete crapshoot anyways. Number 1. And number 1, well, this is true to many games, and without it, many of us would have stopped playing a while ago. Yes, it's the typical game grind that you have to go through before you get anything. And if I hadn't tried Sotis run, I would probably be still poor as fuck right now. See, I like a good grind from time to time, but when getting money is such a hassle, you often stop and think, what am I doing with my life? Oddly, the same question I ask whenever I log into PlanetSide. In any case, the point I'm making is the grind factor in Elite for me is the worst thing. You have to spend so much time to get so little, it's not funny. While some enjoy it, I hate it. After I got my Sotis runs done, I finally could afford every ship in the game, and I could finally turn my attention to actually enjoying the game, trying out new things like exploring and trading or whatever else there was. And I realized the game has so much interesting content in it, but you are so limited in what you can do due to lack of money, you can't spend time doing some random stuff. You have to grind. Seriously, I want to try out everything in the game I bought for 60 quid, but due to lack of resources I couldn't. I still recall before I did the Sotis thing, I said to myself, now I'll get enough money to outfit my Python and then I'll go exploring. Well, by the rate I'm going now, let's see, it'll take me about half a year. No, fuck. And so I guess the moral of the story in some ways is that devs sort of need to increase payouts for things. But anyways, there is my list of things that I either hate or get annoyed whenever I encounter them. I gotta say, in retrospect to this list, there aren't that many bad things about the game, and that surprises me. I guess PlanetSide 2 has conditioned me to lower my expectations into the ground. Anyhow, do let me know what you think, and feel free to share your lists down below as well. If you have them, of course.
Like, you can clearly see I can get through that.
Apparently, yeah. Well, actually, yeah, there's quite a lot of space, but well, hey, hitboxes are what they are, I suppose.
Dude, can you push me out?
Let's see, do I have shields? Yeah, I do have shields, okay. Prepare for, screw it,
stuck as well?
Ah, shit!
Where the fuck did you go?
And...
oh god. Why are you inside of me? What the fuck? Oh god.
Okay.
Oh
Shit. Can I get through?
I'm free!
Fuck! Now I'm stuck. God damn it!